There's another river that offers excellent trout fishing opportunities east of Boerne, but this one has very limited access. Fall River is a crystal clear, slow-moving stream that meanders through the Fall River Valley. Take Highway 299 out of Boerne to get to this almost hidden high mountain plateau where the river flows amid miles and miles of hayfields. Long ago, Fall River ended in a series of cascades that drop dramatically into the Pit River. They're dry and deserted now because the water from Fall River was diverted through a large underground tunnel to a powerhouse project. What is known as Upper Fall River seems to come from nowhere. It bubbles right out of the lava at a place called Thousand Springs. From here, this classic spring creek flows wide and steady and clear for its entire length. Most of Fall River is surrounded by private property, and access is limited to a couple of fishing lodges on the upper portion, Rick's and Lava Creek Lodge. You can get access to the lower river at the Cal Trout Public Access. But this access holds only a few cars, and no parking is allowed adjacent to it, so it can be quite a challenge to even get on this river. But once you're on it, the sight of 18 to 24-inch native rainbows and browns scooting about in this gin-clear water can start your heart pounding with anticipation. But don't expect an easy time of it. Even though this river may hold the highest population of native trout, nearly 3,000 per mile, these trout are also known to humble the best and most sophisticated fly routers. This is also a special regulations catch and release river, so be sure you know what you're doing before you attempt to fish here. Also, only electric motors are allowed when you do get on the river. Both Lava Creek Lodge and Rick's have prams with electric motors available. The person to look for when you come to Fall River is guide and river expert Bob Quigley. For more than a decade and a half, Bob has fished and studied the entomology of Fall River, and he's regarded as the most proficient guide and fly tyer around. We spent one beautiful and nearly perfect autumn day with Bob out of Rick's Lodge fishing the upper river. And about mid-morning, a predictable spinnerfall started to tempt these wary Fall River fish.
Basically, we have the boat anchored above the feeding trout here, and the reason we have this, the clarity of the water on Upper Fall River, is so that when we put the fly down to the fish, we want them to see the fly first. And so we cast the fly out, we straighten our line, and we drift the fly. The little fly we're going to use here is a little mayfly imitation. It's a little loop-wing parachute fly. That means it has a little bit of a loop on top to imitate the natural silhouette of the mayfly, the natural insect. When we have a lot of trout rising, it's very important that you specifically pick out a certain fish. It's kind of like hunting quail. You know, you get out there and a covey jumps up and you try and shoot at all of them and you miss. So you have to pick out one individual trout usually works best, even if there's 20 or 30 or 40 or whatever feeding. I would say I've probably caught 2,000 or 3,000 trout on this particular fly in Fall River. It's the bread and butter fly of the spinner falls up here. Oh, look at the size of that trout right there under the boat. See him? Huh? Isn't he a nice one? Okay, we'll drop it out there. Bend it. Darn it. These leaves give me a little bit of a, there we go. That drift looks good right there. There's no leaves around the fly. The fly is first. Take it. There he is, he's got it. Oh boy, he just sucked it right in. Did you see that? Yeah. Oh, he's a nice fish too. See his white belly, and there he's running. Give him a little line, I'm trying, oh, here he goes. I don't have to get him on the reel, he's gonna do it himself. Here we go. Oh, that's neat. Huh? You just come up there and take that little dry. There he goes. Right on. Oh yeah, he'll. You know, we might have to pull anchor. Let's see what he does. You know, hopefully I can keep him in that deep water. He won't go for it. I'm gonna just kind of keep pressure over to the right, try and influence him as much as I can with 7X tippet. That's my favorite kind of fly fishing. In freshwater, dry fly fishing for trout is tough to beat, and Fall River is it is the best dry fly stream I've ever fished anywhere in the West world, anywhere, for consistency of hatches, longevity of season, size of fish. It's just one special place. And you'll be hard-pressed to find anywhere that's quite like it. And the water's gin clear. Look, you can see a dime, read the dime at 20 feet down in the water. There we go. I think we're gonna get this fella. He's weakening. This is pretty representative of a fall river, upper fall river fish. You know, there are a lot of them in that 14 to 18 inch category. This one's probably in between, 16 or so. Here he comes to the boat, fat little devil. Pretty, isn't he, huh? And we got weeds on the leader, that's the last thing we need, but we don't have any large clumps, so I don't think it'll give us any problems. Gorgeous creature. Yeah, nice and fat he is, and deep. There we go. Come on, baby. Come on into the boat here. Turn on their side, say hi to the people. Look how nice and wide he is, huh? And he's a nice example of his species. Perfectly fat. He's been feeding all summer. It's fall. That appears to be a female right there, just by the head. It doesn't have a real hook jaw on it yet. It's got nice color, though. See the white tip fins? We'll get him up here. Ain't he pretty? Yeah, about 16 and a half. Nice fat fish, ready to spawn. These fish will spawn in Fall River. They're fall spawners and spring spawners both. I think that's because the population is so dense that the spawning season has to be stretched out over a longer period. Okay, we'll just take the fly out here, put him back in the water. He's not, actually, he should just swim right away. I think on his own. There we go. Okay, number one, huh? Was that fun?